How y'all doing, sweethearts? Happy evening or morning, wherever you're at. Crystal just made a comment on one of my posts, and I decided to do a live because this is a question that has been coming to me in messages for the last week, and it's obviously something that many people are not fully understanding what's happening. Your spirit hasn't gone, guys. So many of you are messaging and saying, what's going on? I can't connect. I don't feel my spirit. Where did it go? Why can't I feel my spirit? Why can't I connect? Yada, yada, yada. And guys, what's occurring is you're not supposed to connect to your spirit anymore. You're supposed to embody it. And that's what's happening. So, it's not that you've lost connection to your spirit. How y'all doing, guys? Big, big hugs and blessings. It's not that you cannot connect to spirit. You're embodying spirit now. No longer, yes, I encourage, let me back up a sec. I encourage meditation. I encourage stillness. I will always encourage that. But you don't have to go into meditation, well, maybe some of you do, in order to connect with spirit anymore. You're connecting fully. That's what these eclipses are doing. And that's what this eclipse on the 27th is going to do. It's fully connecting you to the Omega consciousness. No longer do you have to meditate or this, that, and the other to tap in and to tune in. You're embodying it, guys. So it's not that you're not connected or you're not disconnected from spirit. It's not that spirit's disappeared. You're becoming spirit. You're losing the personality of Paula, Corrine, Dolores, Dawn, Linda, Aaron. And you are eclipsing that human personality out, and you're bringing in your true self, that personality. And instead of being just a human that you were born into a label that is printed on a birth certificate, on a contract. You've been taught and enslaved and programmed that you are your vessel, that you are that personality, and that is not who you are. And so that personality has fallen away, and that personality had to tap in and tune in and go into meditation to hear spirit, to connect with spirit, and that no longer is the case, because now you're not the vessel. The vessel is a tube of light, and spirit is the light that comes in and that works through the vessel. You are spirit. So it's not that you've disconnected from your spirit. It's not that you've lost connection to your spirit. You're embodying it as yourself. Now, instead of you the human, if you will, having to connect to spirit, now you're in a process, and have been in a process, of allowing spirit to work through you, as you, in you. And that is what is occurring. So Crystal, sweetheart, and the rest of you beautiful darlings, you're not going crazy. There's nothing wrong. It's not that you're not connected no longer to spirit. Spirit, you're becoming spirit fully. You're allowing spirit to work through you as spirit's personality, rather than the name personality that you have identified yourself with. And Wendy, I think that's why I feel I woke in a different world. Absolutely. Every night now, you guys are going to bed. in one frequency reality, and you are waking up into a new frequency reality. And this is going to continue to occur as this light comes in full force now. You are in full-fledged ascension. And anything that is not of the Earth's highest ascended state frequency is crumbling around. And that includes having to, the personality of the vessel, tune in, tap into, and connect with spirit. Because no longer are you just tapping in, channeling, and tuning in. You're becoming it. That's what a light body is all about, guys. Linda, you woke up as an owl today? I'm telling you, that tripped me out. I literally was, oh, look it, there's the moon. And the sun's setting on the other side of the house. That tripped me out. I'm still tripping over those pictures. I literally morphed in front of myself, and it was just like, whoa. And that's what's occurring. That's our light bodies, guys. We're becoming light. And the more light we anchor in, the more spirit becomes us and we become spirit, rather than the personality of an emerald, pink-skinned, emerald-eyed, red-headed person, or a black skin, or a yellow skin, or whatever it may be. So you're not going crazy. You're not losing your mind. You are fully still connected to spirit. The difference is you're allowing yourself to become spirit, to become light, rather than the personality you were born into and told that's who you were. So you know, guys, dance through this. Crystal, sweetheart, and the rest of you that are feeling like everything's not right, it's perfect. Because you're becoming the light that you have worked so much on your journey to become. So embrace it. Dance with it, guys. And truly just release. Because this lunar eclipse that we're already feeling the energies. Remember, guys, in the highest state of ascended frequency, even the eclipses and all astrological events are an illusion. For the human, they're gateways, they're portals. And you're already feeling them, even though it says, you know, it's occurring in a week, next Friday. But you're already feeling it. That light is already here. And the higher you raise your frequency, yes, you tune into it. Yes, you embody those codes. But no, you're not connected from spirit. You're in a space of what many call a void. You're in a space of full embodiment, full ascension to that omega consciousness, that full connection. And when you come into that full connection, there is no tapping into it. There is no tuning into it. There is no channeling it. You become it. So allow yourself to become. And don't stress over it. Don't think that something's wrong, that you've lost your connection, because you haven't. You're fully embodying it now. And so don't allow fear of the personality of the human that's trying to release. So yourself can become yourself in full union, in full harmony, in full balance with your vessel, which is now a light body. So allow the personality of Tom, Dick, Harry, Linda, Dawn, Jenny, Mark, Michael, whatever. Let it all go. And become who you really are. Self. Spirit. At your highest aspect. At Gaia's highest ascended state of being. Okay, let me catch up here. Aaron, did you see the video about the planets on the right side of the sun? I did. Oh, thank you guys. I love you all so much. It just confirmed exactly what Spirit said. Many of you sent me the link to it, and that was so awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, let me back up a sec. Somebody said something and I didn't see it. Krasimir, let's dance. Let's dance, guys. Let's dance. Paula, am I coming to Auckland? I'm coming to Australia, yes. I will be in Australia in November. I will be there for the 1111 Gateway, November 11th, 2018, 11/11/11. And I will be doing activation at the Earth's solar plexus spot at Uluru. I think I said that right. So yes, I will be. And I am more than willing to have a unity gathering, and we can all gather. There is, in Windsor, there is a couple that has given us permission for anybody who wants to gather to camp out amongst the kangaroos on their property. For anybody who would like to join, you can contact me and we can set it up. But yes, I will be in Australia. I leave on the 5th of November and I return on the 18th of November. So yes, Australia gets me for 2 weeks. So, okay, there was something. Thank you, Belinda. Belinda's saying I look very young today. Let's see. Yes, no longer my avatar. I've been getting heaps of high-pitched sounds, especially in my left ear, a lot more than usual. There's nothing you need to do. When you get downloads from light information, you get it downloads into your right ear. What many people call 10 and 9 is the ringing in the right ear. That's light information coming into your subconscious, your right brain. When you get it in your left ear, guys, and again, all the light information you've been taking in, you're harmonizing the left and right brains. And so all the light information that comes into your subconscious, when you get the ringing in your left ear, when you get the tingling, the sensations, whatever it may be, the tones, that's the information transferring from the right subconscious to the conscious left brain. And many of you now are going to start finding that if it's not happened simultaneously, it's happening very shortly afterwards. First you're getting it in your right side, and not too long afterwards you're getting it in your left. Because remember, we're going into a huge bolt of light coming in at this eclipse and full blood moon. And so this is going to fully connect your consciousness, your brain, to the Omega consciousness. This is the end of the shift, the last leg. This is what so many people have called the event. It's been done in baby steps. And so there is, and with this, guys, any shadows that are left within the vessel, and that doesn't matter if you're awakened on the journey or asleep. We're connecting fully to the Omega consciousness, and any shadows, anything that is not of the Earth's ascended state Omega frequency will come up. And it's not going to be comfortable, and it's going to come up for all of us. This is where, if there's anything that you have hidden from the world, if you just come onto social media and you're all love and light, and you present a picture to the world that you're awakened and that you're all love and light and this, that, and the other, and in your physical, tangible reality, you're still abusive, you're still blaming the world, you still act in a manner of victimization, guess what the world's going to start seeing? There's no more hiding from each other. There is no more pretense. It's going to be hidden. No more secrets. This is where we all become fully transparent, not only to the world, but to each other. This is where you're going to see a lot of people being bombarded with the collective consciousness, voices in their heads, this, that, and the other. And if you do not know how to meditate, if you do not know how to, and have not practiced the self-discipline of stilling your mind and letting your mind go blank from all the thoughts, you're going to spiral straight up. And This is where all of these out there that are still in service to self, disguised as service to others, and these that do experiments on others, and these that are involved in mind programming that they're not aware of, that they're participating in, this is going to be shown. This is where there's no faking it till you make it. This is where, just like that gentleman who came at me the other day, you know, this is where if they don't recognize their own issues, their own shadows within you, this is where it's going to start projecting out. And, you know, there's no judgment in there. That's only acceptance, because, again, the soul's been choosing. Now, whether or not the human aspect is in that awareness, you know, it is what it is. But it's great opportunity for unity rather than division. This is where you're going to see, and I've been saying this for months, you know, there's 3.5 million light workers awake, but there ain't 3.5 light workers that are going to make it. And that's okay, because it's all by perfect divine design. And this is where we have to unify. We have to come together regardless of the beliefs, regardless of the opinions, regardless of the frequencies. This is where we as a whole embrace, regardless if it's presented as a shadow, evil, good, bad, indifferent, it don't matter. This is where we unite. And it's going to take every single one of us and every single one of our personalities, every single one of our beliefs to come together. This is where we walk hand in hand, side by side. And if we can't do that, regardless of each other's frequencies, regardless of each other's soul monads and soul tribes, if we can't do that, then we will spiral. Individually, we will spiral. Because collectively, we have risen. Collectively, we have ascended. Collectively, we have awakened. And this is showing us, each and every one of us, where we are still rejecting, judging, and in division of each other. We're the way showers. If we can't come together as a light worker and spiritual community, that's an issue within us. And that's something we all need to observe. Because the greatest division out of 7.8 billion, including all those that are awakened, the greatest division that exists right now is in the light worker and spiritual communities. And this is a great opportunity for us to learn to dance together. And Amber, someone came at me today too for saying no. And that's okay. Let them come at you. Let them come at you and remain in peace. Transmute that shit, guys. Send the violet fire up. Because remember, whether it wants to be acknowledged or not, you're in a space where everything is you. And it'll always be you. Because we're whole. And it's only the individual that keeps us separated. It's only the individual that wants to judge. You're either on my team or you're not on my team. There is no mine or yours anymore, guys. That's your personality. That's your human. And until you can let your personality of your human go and fully embody the personality of spirit, which is peace, love, and love, and acceptance. And you're going to come, you know, this is where we all come into, if it's chosen, that even acceptance is a label. Because all there is awareness. That's it. Even beyond creator, there's just awareness. There's just consciousness. And that's what we're opening ourselves up to. So, you know what? If people come at you, you know, if others don't like what you have to say, bless them, guys. You don't have to argue with him. You don't have to block him. You don't have to unfriend him. Just bless it and move on. Transmute that shit. I put that link to that. I didn't realize it was a campaign. But I put a link. I made a t-shirt. Transmute that shit through the heart, you know? Let's all unite. Let's stop this division. Let's show the world exactly what we are, including them that don't agree. We are spirit. Spirit is I am. I am spirit. We are soul. So let us unite and know that no, you're not disconnected from spirit. You are spirit. And now you're in the process of fully embodying it. And you know, when you reach a space, guys, when you reach that space, now I was saying this on my video the other day, I don't do this. I don't have to do this. I do it because I love you guys. I care so deeply about the whole of all of us. That's why I do this. You guys don't need me to do this. You don't need any of us to do a live video. That's not coming together. That's not what unity is about. Oh, let's do live videos and let's all come together and join together. No. That's not what it's about. Unity is fully embodying spirit. Fully embodying the whole story of every single one of us of good and evil. And allowing awareness to fully embody into everyone. And if you perceive it, you don't have to do experiments on somebody just to gain wisdom, just to gain information. You don't have to do that, because that's where you're in self-deception. If you're having to go in and experiment with people and talk to them just to get information, you're doing yourself a disservice, guys. You know? Teresa, it's about living the spirit in the flesh. Yes or no? Your flesh is dissipating. Your light body is not flesh. The heavenly realms is not a 3D tangible plane existence. So those of you who are staying in the flesh, in full awareness, you will continue to be, as Teresa stated, living spirit in the flesh. For those of us that are going into a 5D light body experience, there is no flesh, guys. So it's all about dancing with those in flesh and with those not in flesh. And that is unity, bringing all aspects of it and walking side by side, whether they're classified in some perception as an alien, some perception as an angelic, some perception as a galactic. You know, I had a gal message me this morning freaking out because she was physically speaking with a woman, but she didn't see the lady's form. She's seen a praying mantis. She's like, why is that? Because you're fully embodying spirit, and that you're fully connecting to that omega consciousness. And that's what I mean. You're going to become, we are becoming transparent. Just like those pictures I took today where I morphed into what looks like an owl in one into another. It kind of looked like a, kind of like a kangaroo, a koala, I guess it was. And that's how transparent you're becoming, is you're seeing their true self. And the praying mantis, and I explained this to this gal, the praying mantis, they're from Antara. They're the Antarians, and they are very powerful, high beings of light. See, you guys, the human sees the flesh. The human sees the pink skin, the red hair, the blue eyes, the green eyes. But truly, just like that gal today, why did I see a praying mantis instead of her human flesh? because everything's becoming transparent. And our ancestors are rising from the dead. Because in the higher frequencies, guys, death doesn't exist. And all of those that you, to the human, that have died or passed away, whatever label you need to give it, in the higher states of frequency, they walk amongst you. And you're going to start seeing them if you haven't. And that is a very, very beautiful and magical gift that we're being given. So many of you are being connected to your ancestors. You're getting a lot of information. You're starting to see them. You're starting to feel them. And this is going to be more so as we go forward. More and more, you're going to start seeing all spirits, because death is not real. Cheryl Ann seen a lot of shadows last few weeks. You are seeing a lot of shadows, but a lot of those shadows you're going to find if you observe. What starts out as shadow people, and they start shifting. They'll go from dark to having a light aura around them, and then back and forth. You're going to see more and more of that, and it's all going to return to light. And if something is coming at you, or you're experiencing something and you're fearful of it, guys, communicate. Who are you? Identify yourself. What are you trying to say to me? What are you trying to share with me? What are you trying to communicate with me? Don't go into fear over it because it's unknown, like this girl this morning who freaked out because she seen the woman's true form. And Teresa's saying something. What is she? That's when the dimensions are in union. I see morph all the time. This is the story. We live within realms. You choose which realm you live in. Everybody, truth is as fluid. Again, guys, truth is as fluid as the frequency you maintain, you hold within. And you're going to find what you feel and believe right now is going to morph. And we don't live within realms. We are going into a frequency realm. Well, everybody's going to be in a frequency of realm. Some will go into the heavenly realm frequency. Some will stay in temporary timelines, shifting between 4D and 5D realms, and others will stay in lower frequencies of 3D realm. So we're moving out of the space of constantly shifting in between a whole lot of realms. And this is what I've described for so long as a separation of consciousnesses. Somebody asked me when I made a post on that last week, I think it was, somebody asked me, well, isn't this a converging and merging of timelines? We've converged and merged timelines in the highest awareness of us all. What has been occurring for the last 5.5 years, you have been collapsing all of the timelines that contain hurt, anger, duality, polarity, evil, those experiences, those timelines. And at the same time, as you're collapsing those, you have merged the higher aspects of each one of those timelines to create your highest trajectory timelines. You have brought in all of the good and positive and beautiful and magical and miraculous experiences of every lifetime, of every timeline, and every dimension to become your highest trajectory timeline. And so as we go, connect fully to the Omega consciousness. This is where we are fully separating consciousnesses of good and evil. And so that which needed to converge and to merge has already been done. And that which is no longer needed is what is collapsing. To bring a quantum leap to the highest trajectory timeline that your soul has chosen. Now, not all have chosen the heavenly realm harmonic frequencies. Not all have chosen to fully go embody the Omega consciousness. There's two different embodiments going on. One is a Christ consciousness and one is a solar Christ consciousness. And there is a huge difference between the two. The majority on the awakening journey are only going into a Christ consciousness embodiment. And there's a few of us that are going fully into a solar Christ consciousness embodiment. And so this is where you're really going to, ouch, I just stepped on a piece of glass. This is where you're really going to see those two consciousnesses of those worlds split apart. No longer are you going to, by the end of the year, no longer are you going to experience any sort of shadows unless your soul has chosen that. And that's a beautiful thing. That's a totally beautiful thing. Denise, that's why negative things started coming in 5 years ago and have released and forgiven last few months. Yeah. Because for 5 years we've been in a grace period, a void. So our bodies would not short circuit when all of this light came in. And this is also where, because of the light that has come in for those who have chosen to continue on their soul's evolution journey of reincarnation and the karmic will, this is where you're going to start seeing their vessels cannot sustain the light that's coming in. And their minds, because again, even those not on the journey are awakening to the Omega consciousness. The only difference is those of us who are aware of it know how to ground, know how to breathe, know how to handle it. We have tools. Those who have no awareness, they're going to think they're going crazy. And that's where we step up to the plate. That's where we sit there and we give them the tools. We don't charge them for it. We give of it freely. This is where we bring unity and live amongst the dark or the unawakened, hand in hand, side by side, without judgment. We're not here to save the world. The world is saved. It's humanity's consciousness that holds anything that needs saving, or good and evil. And so, you know, guys, if you're still in a space of having to save this world or save humanity, then you're still in a space of division. Because the Omega consciousness that we're fully connecting to, that awareness, there is no evil. There is no duality. There is no polarity. And there is no needing to save. If you're still seeing all of this stuff, observe it and transmute that shit. Because it's your perception. It's within you. Because there is no corruption. There is no dark. There is no elite. There is no pedophilia. There is none of it. Yes, to the human you see it, because that's the frequency you hold. That's the timeline your human is at. And only you individually can collapse that. Because in the highest frequency of Gaia's ascended state, there is no story of the tree of knowledge. There is only light. And light is information. So, it's all a choice, guys, and every moment right now it's a self-disciplined choice to recognize where you're still seeing the world needs saved, or that you needing to save it, or you need to put yourself out there so people can hear you, this, that, and the other. And you're going to find many are going to fall away from Facebook and social media and everything else, because they're going to come into the frequency awareness that everything is perfect. You're going to find that the social media platforms are no longer necessary. They were necessary to raise the consciousness and the awareness of humanity, but no longer are they going to be necessary, because we need to get out into the world. Social media is no longer going to be the platform that connects us, because in full awareness, you take the world with you. You don't have to do anything. So we don't need these videos anymore, guys. We don't need none of it. Because truly, in full embodiment awareness, which all are coming into, you come to fully understand that when you change you, you take the world with you. So if you still think you have to save the world, if you still think galactic wars are going on, if you still think that the world is broken in any way, shape, or form, then that's a division within yourself. Because the Omega consciousness is fully ascended into the heavenly realms, and in the heavenly realms, there's nothing wrong with this world. It's the human consciousness that believes that there's something wrong. Teresa, the Omega consciousness saves the world? Well, no, that's not accurate. You do it through action. You are part of it, and you simply do. Many of us are in the world and have been. That's a frequency of belief. The Omega consciousness does not save the world. The Omega consciousness is the world. And that doesn't need saved. She's already ascended, guys. When you change you, your thoughts, your beliefs, your frequencies, you take the world with you. The Omega consciousness doesn't save the world. She's already saved. She is the world. The world don't need saved. That is a frequency of belief. And I've been saying it for 5.5 years. But now, all of humanity will come into that awareness. You don't like what you see in the world, you change it within you. And if you still see good and evil, you still see something wrong, that's because that's the frequency you hold within, and that's the frequency of belief you attach to. So, again, guys, I encourage you, go within on anything I say and validate it. Because awareness understands, understands, and overstands. There's nothing you have to do for the world at all. Because when you change you, you take the world with you. That's why people sit there and say, what world do you live in? You just ignore everything that goes on, Linda? No. Because the frequency that I maintain and live in, there is no corruption, guys. There is no darkness. There is no evil. Because again, when you're in awareness and you embody that full awareness, you understand you are the world. And it's only you that needs saving. Your thinking, your mind, your emotions, your consciousness. So dance as your own shadows and your own veils of belief are revealed to you. And know that you're embodying spirit, and when you embody spirit fully, there is nothing wrong. It's all perfect. And you don't have to save the world. And you get to a space, guys, you don't even have to save yourself. Because you've allowed yourself to become just awareness. And that is what your journey's been to and been for. To bring you back to a space of full awareness. Teresa, my sister, for someone who says you do a lot of correcting. I'm surprised, my sister, at you, and I fully understand why you're coming at me. I'm not coming at you. That's your perception, Teresa. And it's been your perception for many years. I'm not coming at you. It's no different than what I've said to you in private message, Teresa. Again, perception is yours, beautiful. And if you're perceiving me to come at you, well, I encourage you to go within and ground yourself, beautiful. I'm not playing in that distorted frequency. Sorry. I send you the violet fire and everybody else. Because if you guys go within and validate anything I say, you will be given the full clarity on truly what I'm saying and truly what awareness is. So I bless you all. And Teresa, I bless you, and don't come at me in Messenger, because I'm not going to argue with you, beautiful. I let that go before, and I'm not participating in it. So have a good night, guys. Big, big, big hugs and blessings. And no, dance. You got this. As your shadows are revealed to you. Bye, guys.